during the presentation as a whole. So, first of all, who are we? Commuter Student Services is made up of three professional staff members. We have our director, Emily Snyder, who oversees our overarching department, Student Community Development. We have Victoria Hughes, who is my direct counterpart, who is also coordinator within Commuter Student Services and off-campus living, as well as myself. And our overall mission is to offer support, programming, resources, and outreach that bolster student development, engagement, and self-advocacy for our commuter community. We want to make sure that we're prioritizing an inclusive co-curricular experience so that you're not only getting a fantastic education here at Stony Brook, but that you're able to get involved both on and off campus within your local communities and make sure that you're successful in all aspects of your life. We have five different pillars within our overall mission. So we have connection, convenience, community, commitment, and care. These five pillars are what we build the foundation of the community success upon, with some that are definitely more involved with our office than others might be. But these are five things that we want to make sure that all of our students have access to and to ensure their success. But before I get a little bit into connection, feel free to drop below in the chat where you are commuting from and what you're most looking forward to at Stony Brook University. I know I was a commuter myself when I was an undergrad and a graduate student here at Stony Brook, and I actually commuted by both train or by car, depending on the day. So I have experience with both. And I remember when I was coming in as a freshman, I was really, really looking forward to getting to know new people and getting to experience campus life and getting involved with clubs. I did unfortunately come in fall of 2019, which meant that spring 2020 was COVID, but I still managed to have a really great experience in my time here. All right. So there's a couple different ways that you can make connections here at Stony Brook. First and foremost, you're all going to be assigned an individual peer assistant leader. These are folks that are student leaders within the orientation office, and they're going to want to meet with you in a group setting. And then you also have the opportunity to ask if they can meet one-on-one, get to know them further, get to know their own background, and learn more about what they do here at Stony Brook. You can also attend your professor and TA office hours or teaching assistant office hours. This is a really way to get connected within your class itself. Professors and teaching assistants are required within their programming to have office hours. These are great times to go and ask your questions or just get to know and network with a professor that you might be interested in. Tons of our professors on campus do research. So if you happen to have a professor or you know of a professor who does really interesting research and you want to get more involved or learn more about what they're doing, you can attend their office hours and always ask more questions. We have a variety of campus traditions that happen here at Stony Brook, such as homecoming and Spooky Brook, which is our Halloween celebration. These campus traditions are open to all students and usually happen during times when students are free and available on campus itself. The exception most likely being homecoming, as that is a football game, but there are always events leading up to homecoming for students to participate in a variety of different things, like voting for homecoming royalty. You can attend a commuter connection throughout the semester. This is something that's really fun that we do to connect with our office. We host a free event, usually in a place called the Pit Stop on campus, which is our commuter lounge. And within the commuter lounge, we will usually have free food or we'll have crafts that you can do. And it's specifically designed for you to not only connect with us, but connect to other commuters on campus. It's always a really fun time. We've done dessert bars, we've done a DIY taco bar. People tend to really like this because who doesn't love free food? Other ways of getting connected, you can attend one of the many job fairs that we have on campus. If you're looking to go into a specific field, most likely the Career Center is having a job fair for it. This just requires you RSVPing in advance and making sure that you're planning on being on campus on that day. But I highly recommend checking out the job fairs that are available when you can. You can also connect with your SBU 101 or ADV 101 staff/fellow. If you are an undergraduate student coming in for the first time, you'll be required to complete an SBU 101 class. This just gives you an overview of your undergraduate college that you're a part of, along with general college life. ADV 101 is more designed for our transfer students. So if you're transferring into Stony Brook from another university or college, ADV 101 is a recommended but not required course that you can take to help you get better adjusted to the resources that we have have here at Stony Brook. I highly recommend if you are a transfer taking ADV 101, there are a lot of resources here at Stony Brook that are really important for you to understand, and getting to know the campus and getting to know what we offer can very much help your overall success here at Stony Brook. And then an easy way that doesn't involve any professional staff or having to talk to somebody who's in a leadership position is just creating a study group for a class that you're in. I know one of the quickest ways I used to connect with other people when I was a commuter student was talking with people in my class on the way back to the bus or on the way back to the parking lot, and creating groups from there. And that was always super helpful. Also, group projects made it really easy to connect with people because you're kind of assigned a group to talk to, but a study group or at least a group that you can get together and chat with about whatever's going on in class, is always a really great way to make connections. To connect with us a little bit further, besides just using our own office hours that we have with our office or stopping by, we have a newsletter. All of our commuter students are automatically enrolled at the beginning of the semester into the Dare to Go the Distance Seals on the Move newsletter. This newsletter allows you to see our commuter of the month. So this is a student leader on campus who is a commuter who we highlight their achievements and what they're doing, along with also highlighting events that we're doing that month, asking for your opinion on various things, and then showing off as well any of the resources that we have going on or job opportunities. So we always like to use the newsletter. It goes out every other week, so it's a bi-weekly newsletter, and it's a really great resource just to know what's on campus, what's happening, and getting involved with our office and what we're hosting. You can also follow us on Instagram at SBU Commuters. We post all of our updates on there as well. So if you want to just know us more casually and be able to have us pop up in your feed, you can feel free to follow us on there. I would also recommend following at SB Engaged. That is the overall student life Instagram account. We're featured on there along with a variety of other offices. And between those two, you should always be able to know what is happening on campus so you can plan if you're already there to go to an event, get involved, and meet other people. Besides connection, we have convenience. So something that is really big for our commuter students is we want to make sure that getting around campus, and getting the basic needs that you have while you're on campus are super accessible to you whenever possible. First and foremost, we have campus buses. So we have a variety of different buses that go all over campus from the furthest spot, to the closest part of campus. We even have a bus that goes all the way to our Southampton campus in Southampton in the South Fork. And all of these buses run from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So they're constantly running. There's always a bus coming. They run literally like every 10 minutes. And you can easily track these buses through the ETA Spot app. So once you click on the Spot app, you're able to download it. And there's also a desktop version, and it allows you to select the specific buses that you want to track while you're on campus or even in advance. This is especially super nice in the winter time if you're parking down on lot 40, which is our largest parking lot for commuter students. If it's winter and you don't want to get out of your car, or if you don't want to go wait in Wolfie's Hut, which is a little building in the center of the parking lot that's nice and warm, you can stay in your car and track when the next bus is coming. Or if you don't want to wait at the bus stop itself, you can wait inside a building. If it's raining, whatever the case might be, it makes life so much easier just to see when the next bus will be there. Locker rentals, we do have locker rentals available in the Student Activity Center, which is at the center of campus, and the Pit Stop, which is that commuter lounge that I mentioned. These are run through the Auxiliary Services Association. They also run our dining on campus, and you're able to essentially just rent a locker that will be yours for the semester to store any items that you feel you might need. This is really helpful, especially for folks who might be commuting by train or who might live a little bit farther away, where it's not super easy to go home, grab your items, and come back. As somebody who, as an employee, now works on campus, something of this nature would be super helpful. I store a lot of my own things on campus that I already have at home, and I have doubles of them just because it makes sense for me. It makes it easier for my commute so that I don't always have to worry about bringing something back and forth, especially if it's just going to make my bag a lot heavier. Something that is included in that are meals. So there are a variety of locations on campus where you can heat up a meal and that there are microwaves. So if you are planning to bring your lunch to campus, you can easily heat it up. But we also have something called a commuter meal plan. These meal plans are cheaper than the dining meal plans that our residents get, and they can just make meal planning for your days on campus a little bit easier. The great thing about having a meal plan instead of paying with your own money is simply that they have tax free, so you don't have to pay that 8% tax on anything that you're buying. Uh, and by default, you just have it on your ID card, so you don't have to worry about bringing your credit card with you every single time, and it's all just located on that one card. If that doesn't appeal to you, it's not a requirement whatsoever to have as a commuter student. I know personally it just made it a lot easier for me to budget so that I always knew that I had X amount of money for purchasing meals on campus instead of just paying with my card and not keeping track of it like I should have. Finally, we do have bike stations around campus. There are places for you to lock your bike. So there are plenty of those bike racks around campus, but we also have something called Wolfie Bikes. If you've ever used City Bike or any rent-a-bike services before, then you kind of know what a Wolfie Bike is. You are able to take out a bike for about an hour, and you can use it to get around campus much easier. These also have assigned stations where you can just redock them, which is super easy to do. And it's also, once more, convenient. There is one down in Lot 40, and then many on main campus as well. So you're able to just take them out at any time. Uh, to park on campus, you are required to have a parking permit. So, if in that earlier question you said you're going to be parking on campus, we do have a variety of parking permits that you can qualify for. So starting off, we have Commuter Core, which is in the central part of campus. This is $135 per semester or $90 in the summer. The $135 for fall will also cover winter parking, so that's covered kind of like a two for one there. And you have to assign a specific car or specific cars to that permit. Side tangent or side note, real quick. Any permit that you have, you can assign multiple cars under. So if you use multiple vehicles or you're constantly switching out vehicles, you can have multiple on a permit. The only rule is that those cars cannot be on campus at the same time. So if you and your friend are both commuting to campus and you're like, well, if I pay $135, we can both park on campus every day. That's not going to be eligible simply because you can't have the same cars on campus. Only one of them will have the permit, meaning that the other person or one of you will be getting a ticket, which is not fun. The other one is Commuter Perimeter, which is $90 per semester for the fall and spring, and then 60 during the summer. Um, all of these folks can also park in lot 40 if there is not availability within the lot themselves. But it's mainly you should make sure that you're parking wherever you can that is appropriate for your parking permit. Both Commuter Core and Commuter Perimeter do have a discounted permit program that is specifically available to those who are receiving specific financial aid. I believe you need to be Pell eligible in order to get the discounted perimeter. There's also a very limited number of those discounted perimeter or discounted core permits, so you would just have to make sure that you're checking the website to see if they are still available. The free parking permit is Commuter Satellite. That is down at Lot 40. This map over here is pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but I will do my best. I'll take my little annotate here. This is main campus, for those of you who might be wondering what you're looking at. Do, 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 do. And this is lot 40. So as I mentioned, this is the biggest parking lot on our campus for our commuter students. We have several buses that run down there to the main section of campus that run every 5 to 10 minutes or so. And they're really good at getting you to either the east part of this campus over here near the Union or to the Student Activity Center, which is in the central part of campus. Both of those are completely free to use. All of our buses on campus are completely free to use for students or anybody on our campus. But those are the main parking permit areas. I recommend going on to the stonybrook.edu/parking website and taking a closer look at the permit map yourself, just so that you have a better idea of where parking is, especially once you get your class schedule. Once you have your class schedule, you might decide that paying for parking in certain areas might be more worth it than being in lot 40, just depending on where your classes are located. A good note to have at least is that faculty and staff lots will open to the public after 4 p.m. So after 4 p.m., they stop enforcing all unpaid lots. So any of our metered parking will still be enforced, but after 4 p.m., pretty much all of the faculty, staff, commuter premium, and residential lots are free to park in. So if you have a class after 4 p.m., you can always move your car to main campus so you're not leaving at dark. The express bus once more stops running at 11 p.m. And we do also have a residential safety program all hours. If you are ever feeling unsafe or if you are just nervous about walking back to your car at night, for whatever reason that might be, you can call 631-632-WALK, that's 9255, and a member of our residential safety program will essentially chaperone you back to your vehicle or back to wherever you are going. This is very much just to give you peace of mind. Our campus is very safe, but we all get anxiety every now and then, and the dark can be scary. So, oh, never be afraid to use that number and give them a call. The meal plans that I mentioned earlier, so these are the various meal plans that you can get. The commuter meal plan that I mentioned before is the commuter 550, so that's $550 dining dollars. This once more just gives you dedicated money to spend on campus that can come right out of your payment. All of these meal plans are put onto your overall bill, so they're included in the bill that you get, including your tuition and any of your fees. So your meal plan is included in that specific bill. It's not something that's charged separately. But you are welcome to take whichever of these that you would like, if you would like to. Once more, you are not required to have a meal plan whatsoever, but it is something that is open to you if that's something that you would like to have. With the meal plans, all of them come with dining dollars of some kind. This is just money that can only really be spent on campus. So dining dollars are exclusively meant to be spent at any of our retail locations or to get into our dining hall and can be helpful and even can be used at most, if not all, vending machines on campus now, which is really great. They didn't used to be able to do that. And some of these, like the Block 110 or the SBU Premium, have meal swipes. So instead of paying the door fee to get into the buffet style eating, you can just swipe in and that's included. This is once more something that you would have to consider within your own budget and your own daily use of food and what you might require to be on campus. But it is something that is available should you be interested. And you can find more information at stonybrook.edu/meal plan. If you're unsure if this is something that would apply to you, feel free to take your time. You usually have the first few weeks of the semester to sign up for it. And then you can always downgrade to something within the first few weeks as well, or cancel it. All right, community. So building a community with commuters has been seen as something that people find very difficult because commuters don't tend to be on campus all the time. However, there is such a strong commuter community on our campus that we want to continue to grow and encourage in the upcoming years at Stony Brook and make sure that we're really focusing on getting commuters at a really great place. So we have over 500 plus clubs and orgs that include the Commuter Student Association, along with pretty much any club or organization that you could think of. And even if there's a club or organization that is not there, or there's something that you're looking for that you can't find, if you can find at least three other like-minded individuals, you only need four people to start a club. You can fill out a form on SB Engaged or the Quirk app, which is what's on here. That's our hub for all things orgs and events, and create your own club, which is very, very nice. The Pit Stop Commuter Lounge, as I mentioned, is a major hub of commuter student life. So programming and takeovers happen in there all the time through our office. It's a study lounge mainly, so it's open until 2 a.m. and there's grab and go vending machines in there that have chips and snacks and energy drinks and water and everything you can imagine. There's also two bathrooms in there, and water fountains and water bottle refillers. So you could very much spend your entire day there if you wanted to. We also are very fortunate that we have great partners on campus from other organizations and offices who'll do resource tabling in there occasionally, giving out free items and talking to students about various things like how to sign up for next semester's classes or how to get more involved on campus or even just basic health and wellness initiatives. Additionally, we have a lot of semesterly and annual traditions. Now, there is one annual tradition or semesterly edition that is special to me in particular because I've been planning it the past year and a half. But before I get into that, what kind of events are you looking forward to or would you like to see at Stony Brook? We have a lot of different kind of events here at Stony Brook. My favorite one, besides the one I'm going to tell you about in a moment, is probably Roth Regatta. Roth Regatta is an event where clubs and orgs, it's actually this top right picture over here, clubs, orgs, offices on campus get together and they build boats only out of cardboard and duct tape and then have to try and get it across Roth Pond. It's a very amusing event because either they sink or they make it through. Wolfie, our mascot, tends to get into the pond and gives me a heart attack every time because I think he's going to drown. But it's a lot of fun. There's usually free vendors, and free food, and it overall is a great time to hang out with friends, get outside, and experience some nice peace and enjoyment before inevitably finals come in the next couple of weeks. But besides Roth Regatta, my favorite event would have to be Commuter Appreciation Month, and a month entirely dedicated to our commuter students. So every semester we have a Commuter Appreciation Month. In the fall, it's October, and in the spring, it's in April. And the entire month, we are hosting various events, not just through our office, but with clubs and organizations and departments. We're going down to Lot 40, we're on main campus, and we're celebrating all of our commuters and giving back to our commuter-specific community. This past fall, we had these lovely We Heart commuter mugs, and we're hoping to get more again this upcoming semester. We always have a kickoff at the beginning of the month and a closing at the end. And there's usually some form of like large closing event that brings everything all together. In the spring, our closing event is a event that we call Pitpalooza. We just introduced it this past April, and everyone really liked it. This is very much a kind of like a music festival-esque event that happens in front of the commuter lounge, where you can get fun t-shirts, get free smoothies, get a bunch of free stuff, listen to great music, and overall just have a great time. We kicked off the month with free boba tea as well as DIY bouquets in a very refresh for spring kind of event. So these events happen every single October and April. We're looking to keep doing them and doing more and giving back and making sure that our commuter students feel appreciated. So for commitment, commitment is definitely something that all students, regardless of residential or commuter status, need to have, because time management truly is your best friend. Within your commitment to being a student, you want to make sure that you're getting to your classes on time, that you're getting to where you need to be on time, and also that you're trying to make sure that you're getting your classwork in a timely manner. We have a variety of different resources ourselves that you can use, but feel free to share what tools and tips you use to keep yourself organized on track. Personal favorites of mine, love Google Calendar and Notion, but also a Google Sheet with a list of every assignment organized by date worked perfectly fine for me in undergrad. If you find that you're having a little bit of difficulty with your time management and making that commitment to coming to campus in a timely manner, the Academic Success and Tutoring Center is a super great resource located in the lower level of the union, where you can actually meet with a staff member to go over your time management skills and learn how to improve upon them, in a realistic way that works for you. You can also use Navigate to outline all of your class requirements, take a look at study groups that you might need, and anything of that nature. I strongly recommend if you, as a commuter, no matter what way you're getting to campus, take the time to fully sketch out the way that you're getting to campus and the time it's going to take. Even if you know realistically it's going to take, let's say, 45 minutes to drive to campus, that doesn't necessarily include the traffic that might be involved with getting to campus during the actual school year time. I would usually add about 10 to 15 minutes on top of the time that it normally takes you to get to campus just to account for the other 20,000 students who are also coming to campus at that time. Um, so make sure you're giving yourself enough grace and enough time to get to campus, and not feel like you're rushing to the next thing or not feeling like you have to rush to the bus to get to class or whatever it might be. Same thing goes with the train system, if you are looking to find the right train, I would recommend one that's going to get there probably about 30 minutes in advance or maybe even earlier. Give yourself 30 minutes to an hour because you have to walk from the train station to campus, or you can take the bus to campus if it's not good weather. But you want to make sure that you just have enough time between when you arrive on campus to when your actual activity is going to begin, which may sound pretty self-explanatory, but you'd be surprised about how much time things actually take with how big our campus is. So give yourself some grace. Once you have your schedule, do a dry run of what a commute might look like just to give you a better idea when the semester begins, and how long it will actually take you to get to certain places. Finally, care. In order to do your best, you do need to feel your best. So we have a variety of different ways that you can take care of yourself on our campus and support that you can get. Every single student who comes to campus has access to all of our resources. A lot of these also have a virtual version of themselves or very reachable, even if you're not on main campus all the time. Probably the easiest on like out side one of this is UPD, the University Police Department. If you're experiencing an emergency off campus, please call the local police department, use 911. I'll go over what number you call for our UPD in a moment. But the first two that we have on here, the Center for Prevention and Outreach and Counseling and Psychological Services, are really focused on your mental well-being. So both of these focus on therapizing and various ways to self-care and take care of your mental health. The Center for Prevention and Outreach also works on preventative measures regarding your sexual health. So they provide free condoms, they have free dental dams, they have free so many free things. They also provide free menstrual hygiene items as well. So they really focus on um, taking care of your whole self as well as your mental health in particular. The Rec and Wellness Center and Student Health Services are very much there for your physical well-being, Rec and Wellness to help keep you healthy. There are free classes that you can go to in the space that range from very intense, high workouts to more relaxed, more casual workouts as well. You can also just go in and use their weights or their track whenever you want. As a student, you are automatically paying a fee within your tuition that covers the cost of your student health services. So you have access to the Rec and Wellness Center whenever you would like to, when it's open. Student Health Services is on campus, doctors and the like. If you're ever on campus and you don't feel well or you injure yourself and you just want someone to take a look at something, please don't hesitate to go to Student Health Services. They take pretty much every single insurance out there. Um, and they want to make sure that you're okay. They also do free flu shots and other vaccinations when necessary throughout the year. So if you're ever trying to get that flu shot taken care of when it starts getting colder, you can always go to the Student Health Services building and they'll help you out. The Seawolves Pantry and Student Support Team are focused on your basic needs and security and also ensuring that you have everything that you could need to be successful. I actually, in addition to my commuter student services position, I also work within the Seawolves Pantry and directly see all of the day-to-day operations. The Seawolves Pantry essentially just acts as an on-campus food pantry or basic needs pantry where we offer not just shelf-stable items, but we also offer hygiene items and school supplies as well. Whether you're facing food insecurity or looking just to have a snack or are not, or trying to save money and not trying to pay for a lunch on campus, we have a decent amount of options. You can always come by the pantry, grab whatever you need, and go from there. We also have a microwave and a coffee machine that are free to use for anybody who's visiting. So if you are on campus and you want to bring your own food, you're always welcome to stop by the pantry and use our microwave. As long as somebody else isn't using it, go wild. The student support team, they are there for literally anything you could need. If you're ever unsure as to where to go, the student support team is your best bet. They are the true hub on campus of everything you could ever need. If you're having difficulty advocating for yourself because you don't feel well and maybe you feel like your professor isn't being understanding, the student support team can help you in that advocating. So definitely touch base with them. They'll be around throughout some of the orientation, other orientation aspects that you'll be going to or that you can going to. I believe they have an information session or a part of an information session as well. I strongly recommend getting to know them, and getting to know what they have because they are super, super helpful. The University Police Department, if you are ever having an emergency on campus, if you seriously injure yourself, if somebody's going into anaphylactic shock, if there's something happening on campus that constitutes an emergency, you're going to want to call our University Police Department. Now, 911 is great when you're not on campus. On campus, if you call 911, it's going to the General Suffolk County Dispatch, which is not focused solely on campus. UPD only focuses on Stony Brook. So if you're on campus and you need to call the University Police Department, you can call 631 632 3333. I'm going to ask Dylan to throw that in the chat for me. Um, I would recommend saving this as a contact within your phone and just writing it in as UPD so that you don't even have to remember the phone number. Just have it somewhere so that in case of emergency, something happens, you can call them. And you can also call them if you get locked out of your car. They will come by, jimmy the lock open, get you in your car so you're good to go. So definitely take advantage of what they do offer to make sure that you are safe on campus, and that you are also well taken care of. And then, of course, we're here. Commuter Student Services and Off-Campus Living is always here if you're also unsure of where to go and are looking for more commuter-specific resources. We offer mainly educational programming and resources for all of our commuter students. One of our most popular events that we have is Landlords, Leases, and You. This is an entirely virtual series where we go through the basics of renting off campus. This includes when to start looking, how to decide what should be on a lease or what shouldn't be on a lease, what's legal, what's illegal, and all that fun stuff. We offer complimentary smoke and CO2 detectors, reflective vests so you don't get hit by cars if you're walking outside at night, and we do collaborative events with our university police and fire department during Fire Safety Week. We also offer a variety of off-campus safety resources, so should you run into issues with living off campus, you're always welcome to come to us, and we're open to having discussions on how we can help you with that specific issue. We have a very good relationship with Suffolk County PD. We also um, are in touch with a legal counselor. So, should you be in need of legal counseling, we can recommend you to somebody. We ourselves are not capable of doing any kind of legal stuff. We're just people who work in an office. We are not lawyers. So, we are happy to recommend you out and inform you on what we know, and make sure that you are heading in the right direction and that you know what you can use. Additionally, we have a website called Off-Campus Living Support or Off-Campus Housing. This is something that we work with the, if you've ever heard of apartments.com, this is the Stony Brook specific apartments.com. Literally, this is built through them. So this includes local services, apartment complexes, and local rental listings that are all verified and legal. So in order to offer renting through this website, they have to have a Brookhaven rental permit, or the permit required in their local local stuff. And they're all verified, and then they're able to go on here. The great thing about this is it's only accessible to those with an SBU Net ID and Net ID password, or people that we have verified have connections to a Stony Brook student, like parents or guardians or partners who might be working with a Stony Brook student or someone associated with Stony Brook to find housing. There are safety resources on here along with our advising illegal clinic referral. You can scroll through our roommate listings, very similar to how you might scroll through any kind of personal app where you can make connections with another person. You can decide what works best for you with a living partner, what might not. You can organize it by gender, by whether someone smokes or doesn't, whatever you might be looking for within the guidelines, to see if you can find someone to live with. And with living with other people does inevitably come with some sort of conflict and conflict resolution. Should there ever be an instance where you feel like you need an extra hand or somebody from an external point of view to come in, we do offer one-on-one and group counseling regarding roommates or rental situations. And once more, we are not a legal service, so we cannot offer you specific legal advice, but we can help you figure out what to do when your roommate's drinking your milk, and you're suddenly out of milk and you don't like that. We can have conversations on how to resolve those issues. Should you want to connect with us further, you are welcome to email us at commuter_services@stonybrook.edu. Our phone number is up on the screen, and you're always welcome to stop by the Stony Brook Union Student Life Suite 205, and our website is on there as well. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. Once we get into the school year and join that newsletter, you will also be able to access our commuter ambassadors, who are student leaders on campus who are commuter students. And they also have office hours where you can meet with them and talk with them further. So I haven't been looking at the chat at all. So Dylan, shout out to you for taking a look at the chat. Um, so now I will open up the floor for any questions that folks might have. Let it be known that I have no answers regarding your schedule, advising, or anything of that nature. I only know things about getting to and from campus and maybe pantry related if you have questions about that. Um, Otherwise, if you do not have any Muslim support services, yes, so Muslim support services, we actually have a couple different student support teams on campus, like student organizations that are Muslim specific, and we have an interfaith center on the lower level, along with a prayer room on the lower level of the union. So there are various religious organizations on our campus. There's also a Catholic minister. There's the Hillel Center, which is our Jewish center. So there's lots of folks on campus for religious rated services. And yes, the Hicksville train does still go directly to campus. I actually commute from Hicksville, so I have a lot of experience with this specific train. There is a direct train that leaves around 8:14 a.m. that'll get you there at 9:12. If you want to get there earlier, there is also one that leaves around 6:50-ish that'll get you there around 7:45. So if you're trying to get there earlier in the day, those are the two best bets. Um, and those are very, very reliable. Where can I get the free menstrual items? That's a great question. So you can get free menstrual products from the Center for Prevention and Outreach, which is located in the Union, and you can also grab them from the Seawolves Pantry, which is located on the lower level of the Union. Both of these are completely free, so you can just walk up and grab them. I also know that there are some in the bathrooms within the Student Activity Center as well. Our USG, or Undergraduate Student Government, has an entire initiative to introduce more free menstrual items around campus. They offer both pads and tampons, so whatever you're looking for is usually around. When does the campus bus start working? It starts going at 6 a.m. and it ends at 11 p.m. Most important information that you need to know, there is so there are so many resources on campus that you have access to. Please take advantage of them. If you take anything from this presentation, please take advantage of all of the free things that are offered to you while you are here at Stony Brook, because we want you to use these services and we want you to get involved. Shout out to Joseph for answering that. Parking permits are valid for a whole semester. How far is it from Lot 40 to campus by bike? Probably about a 20-minute bike ride. So that depends on how fast you bike. Pretty sure it's like a half mile, if I'm remembering correctly. It's definitely not a bad bike whatsoever. I've biked it before and I've walked it before. Um, I recommend the buses whenever possible, but they're definitely great. Do, 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 do. Yes, there are specific apps. Thank you, Dylan, for answering that. I'll say that out loud, though. If you want to use the rec center, there is an app called Rec on the Go. They use it mainly to check you in and out so that they know who's in the rec center and when. On-campus jobs. I do know things about on-campus jobs. So Dylan has also put it in the chat, but there are job fairs each semester that says that we have like various jobs on campus, and we'll have representatives from the various offices that are hiring that'll be there as well. Does the universe, oh, do. Dylan's as fast as I am. The university does not provide discounts. I am very sorry for the LIRR. We do not currently at this time have a discount for the Long Island Railroad. I know that that is actually something that some people for undergraduate student government were hoping to achieve this year, but that is not something that we currently offer. Orientation hold to be lifted. You got that. What the work hours of the union are about, I'm pretty sure, 7:30 until about 10 at night. The actual offices usually run about 9 to 5. But you can find all of the hours for any of our buildings online. They're always open. On-campus jobs all start at minimum wage, so they all start at the Long Island specific minimum wage. So let that be known. If you are currently planning to move to Long Island and you don't currently live here, Long Island and the New York City area are at a higher minimum wage than the rest of New York State due to the higher cost of living. So that will go automatically. Some might be higher, some I know at least positions that I've hired for, like our graduate students, tend to get paid a little bit more, but most jobs start at the minimum wage. Bus schedule times, thank you. How do we track the campus buses again? It's through an app called the ETA Spot app. ETA Spot. And you can use that to find the campus buses. If you also go, you can find it online at SBU, www.sbu-dining, I believe. Meal plan, stonybrook.edu/meal plan, or stonybrook.edu/parking. Will get you to both. Do we still need a parking permit to park at lot 40? Yes, I would definitely have a general commuter permit just in case, um, because you don't want to accidentally get a ticket. That's never bad. That's never a good idea. If you have commuter core, then you can park in any of the other lots. You can park in any of the commuter lots. You cannot park in faculty staff parking. All of our lots have clear signage that are on top of it, that'll tell you where exactly you can and cannot park. Faculty staff is all in red, so that's very helpful. If you see a red sign, don't park there until 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., park wherever you want. Difference between commuter core plan and the discounted core. So the discounted core is only available for those who are eligible with their financial aid offer. So it should be people who are eligible with the financial aid. If you go to the parking website, it explains more in depth as to what it is, but you have to have a very, very specific circumstance in order to get a discounted parking permit. And even then, they have a limited amount of them. Applying for on-campus jobs, I believe, Dylan, will the Career Center have an info session?
There should be an info session with the Career Center. If you guys are looking to apply to on-campus jobs, the platform provided by Stony Brook University is Handshake. You can look for on-campus and off-campus employment via Handshake. However, that's not the only way to apply for jobs. Take a look at the on-campus job fair that happens twice a year, once each semester in the fall and spring, which will have departments come out and give you more information about all the on-campus employment opportunities. Sometimes they take applications on the spot or resumes. Other departments will do it different ways, so it does depend on specific um, departments that you're utilizing. And also for anyone asking in the chat, if you are able to leave now, I believe, Katie, you're done, but we're just
Yeah,
doing
I'm just
questions.
answering questions. So if you don't feel like hanging about just to listen to any questions that you might have, you are all free to go. Thank you for joining. Feel free to reach out in the future if you have any further questions about commuter specific items. Uh, Back to the questions that I see in the chat. The application for commuter student services, thank you. Unfortunately, I can't run through the benefits that the full Pell gives you besides the potential discounted parking permit. I'm not a financial aid officer, so I'm not aware of the full benefits of the Pell Grant. So I would definitely talk to somebody within financial aid to get a better idea as to any other things you might be able to receive because of that grant. The satellite permit does not have any special requirements. It's open to anybody on campus, so feel free to apply for it through the parking website. Uh, so parking, yeah, parking lot for lot 40 is the only free parking lot. You can also get a ticket in that parking lot if you don't have a parking permit. So lot 40 is the designated parking lot for our commuter students, and you are required to have a parking permit to park literally anywhere on campus. So if you are parking in lot 40, we do have parking enforcement who goes around to all of our lots. They will scan your license plate, see that you don't have a parking permit, and then give you a $30 parking ticket. Those parking tickets will be continued to given until your car is moved. So you want to make sure that you have a parking permit to be on campus. It is zero issue to get a free parking permit, so just get the permit. It's super easy to do. Um, and do note that any ticket on campus for the most are going to be like a $30 ticket, and then it can build on after that. Also, if you have unpaid parking tickets, you can be barred from graduation, and they might put a boot on your car. So make sure you're parking in the correct areas. They are very active I'm going to use that term. They're very active around campus. I'm very on top of checking on things. So park in the correct areas. If you're parking in a metered lot, don't risk it. Pay for the metered lot. Go from there. All right, what else we got? What else we got? We got Yes, on-campus events, you can go to an app called Cork, that's CORQ Cork, or the website SB Engaged. Please note that might change in the near future, but for now, continue to use Cork and continue to use SB Engage. They don't necessarily save your spot on every single event. Some events will require an RSVP, but you can find out more at an engagement session with our student engagement and activities folk. They can go in all about how to get more engaged on campus. Da, 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 da. Once more, I cannot answer any questions about scheduling your classes. That is not my expertise. I am not an advisor, so I am not able to currently answer those questions.
Yes, and just a heads up to everyone who is continuing to send advising questions, your advisor is going to reach out to you to work on scheduling your courses. That is the next step. I do not know when that will be. It will be soon, so keep an eye on your Stony Brook email. That is where the communication will come to.
Let me
When that is done, you will be able to register for your courses with your advisor. For those of you who are worried, every single student within the last years that I've been here 6,000 at a time, so collectively over 20,000 plus students. There will be opportunities for you to take all the courses you need. There are 120 plus credits that you need to accomplish here at Stony Brook, so you will have something that you need to do within your first semester or two here, even if you are not in the first or second standing groups, to select courses that will make sure you graduate on time. I have not had any instances of students who have not graduated on time. I know it's stressful, but we're going to get through it. Take a breath together. Let's collectively, we will support you. So I promise you will have the opportunity to schedule that meeting with your advisor and get all the courses that you need in a timely manner. So I know there's not specific information right now, but you will get your courses.
Our advising team is great, and I know that they're working super hard. The incoming class is usually around 5,000 people, so they're working hard to get every single student within that 5,000 enrolled in classes and ready to go. All right. Are there any other questions that I personally can answer regarding commuting to campus? Oh my God, thank you for saying we're awesome. We try so hard. Um,
Yeah, so I do see a bunch of people starting to leave now. Again, thank you all for coming, and virtual round of applause to Katie for her wonderful presentation. I do just want to say, if anyone does want to look back at this recording, if you do have any questions, obviously feel free to reach out. But if you do want to reach out for the recording, it will be posted on the YouTube channel Orientation and Transition Programs, Stony Brook. Give that a day or two to get uploaded there. So we're going to have to verify that all the captions and things are correct. So if you don't see it there immediately, don't worry, it will get uploaded there. So feel free to review all that information. But you can always reach out to Commuter Student Services, like Katie mentioned, for directly all that information as well.
have a great rest of your evening, everyone. The orientation office is not currently open, but it will be reopening tomorrow at 9 a.m. So if you send an email right now to orientation, they are not going to respond until tomorrow once the office is open again. Unless you have a question for Dylan right now, then you can just message Dylan directly while he's still on the call. But what's up, Jeter? What do you got? Like I said, if you don't have any more questions, you're good to go. You don't have to stay on the call. I will, if anybody has questions. If you've attended this session, just watch the recording because your attendance will be counted as attending this session. And just make sure that you watch the recording as well to see where you've missed. But you should be all good.
It'll provide you the instructions. So just make sure you read through, watch through the recording so you have the information, and then at the end you can email the orientation office, and we'll be able to help you with that hold.
Amaze, amaze, amaze.
All right. If that is, thank you very much. Have a good one. If that is all the questions, I'm going to close this out. So with that, I will stop the recording. If anyone does have any last minute questions, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, we're going to close out this session.